Lex, I sort of want to talk about the brand, right? You talked about Lex 3.0 and how you're thinking about, that evolution. Also, when you think about the brand of Nepal, if Nepal has a brand, what is that brand and how can we, if it's not a really good brand, how can we really work together to improve it?
Yeah, I think I'm perplexed with the question in terms of what is Nepal's brand. I think a lot of the things that we see about Nepal and that we read about Himalayan country, Lord Buddha, kind people, I think that's always there. But also, I feel like maybe that's not true anymore. It's a bit laksa. I know maybe we're kind of moving away, and maybe there's a lot of hardship in this country. Hence all the things that we read. I think there's a huge need for us to kind of collectively think about what Nepal means in the global world, or what Nepal even means to Aibani who are being born outside, because they may not have ever visited Nepal. Like, wow, that's in Nepal.
Right.
There's a lot of work that we need to go through. But I also think that this comes down to each groups and their relationship with Nepal. So because I am very much talking from the travel perspective, like you say, to travel money, Nepal, and how can it brand itself better? How can we also move beyond seasonality? How can we also become this dynamic country, not just mountains we're so grateful for, but Nepal is more than mountains. भन्ने खालको कसरी चाहिँ हामीले त्यो कन्भर्सेसन त्यहाँ पुऱ्याउन सक्छौँ भन्ने खालको चाहिँ मेरोमा चाहिँ त्यो धेरै सर्कुलेट हुन्छ. तर इक्वली अर्को हिसाबमा एज someone from a Gorkha background, I also realized that maybe historically the 200 years of Gorkha recruitment le ho कि अहिलेसम्म नि migration पनि एउटा brand नै भयो नेपाल हैन. That's such a shame and such a माया लाग्दो चिज है. Individually, it's great that मान्छेहरुको lives उहाँहरुले better गर्नको लागि we will go lengths, and that's what my dad did as well. But ultimately, you come to a point that countryलाई चाहिँ के भइरहेछ भन्ने खालको कुराहरु पनि हुन्छ नि. अनि त्यो हेर्दाखेरि र त्यो बुझ्दाखेरि चाहिँ I think it's like it's unknowingly it's a sad branding for the country. त्यसमा चाहिँ I think I alone don't have an answer, but it's something that I think we should actually think a lot more about. Today, I met somebody who's from the UK, and she said, "Dai, so everyone's leaving Nepal. And I said, well, I think that's a big question. And पहिला त अब भन्थ्यो होला सायद अब कामको लागि मात्र गएको, अहिले त पढाइको लागि पनि no one study here. And now त्यसमा अब कस्तो multiple levelबाट बुझ्नु हेर्नुपर्छ यसमा, because म छोड्छु भन्ने पनि एउटा सजिलो डिसिजन त हुँदैन, त्यसमा पनि लगानी हुन्छ. So that's the big topic right now. So that's what I talk to most people about. So maybe that has become.
Yeah. I mean, you're so right. And I think it has so many layers, right? From policy, they can individual level, lack of opportunities. And there's so much on that. Tara, one question, just as a follow-up, from your experience with you being part of a Gorkha family and so on, is there a learning that we can think of in terms of this bigger migration and all of it, honey? Is there something that we can learn from this your Gorkha experience?
Mm-hmm. I think the biggest learning is that no matter how many years we are away, we live in another community or country, the connection to Nepal is pretty strong. And I kept thinking that maybe the connection will die out. But even from a slightly older generation of Gorkhas who have lived in the UK for a really long time, they still maintain their identity of what it means to be Nepali or what it means to be a British Nepali changes, and it is very personal. But that connection and that want or willingness to continuously go back and forth Nepal seems to be quite strong. I've been seeing that also with young Gen Z individuals who are born and raised in the UK, and they might have a very non-Nepali growth or childhood. But when they go to universities, that's when they seem to find Nepali society and start learning all Nepali songs. So त्यो देख्दाखेरि चाहिँ खुसी पनि लाग्छ तर maybe it's now time to do one more step of actually showcasing the positive examples or stories of individuals that have decided to give Nepal a second chance, decided to go back to Nepal, decided to live there or retire there. Because, when some of us get to that retirement age, which I am not close to, but it's like, you can always think, do I retire in the UK or do I retire in Nepal? And, my parents decided to come back as well. And now we're seeing more Gorkha families who are here and who are very much comfortable and happy with the decision that they have made to come back to Nepal and live. अनि त्यो देख्दाखेरि चाहिँ हामी चाहिँ अब बाहिर हुर्काउँदाखेरि चाहिँ बाहिर बाबा मम्मीहरूले दुःख गरेर बस्दाखेरि चाहिँ उहाँहरू चाहिँ के हुन्छ भने सायद यति धेरै यति समयसम्म होइन छोरा नाता नातिनी छोरा छोरीलाई हुर्कायो नाति यही छ लगानी पनि धेरै भयो अब नेपाल जाने र भन्ने खालको क्वेसन पनि कतिको आउँछ नि तर उहाँहरूले सायद त्यो पोजिटिभ एक्जाम्पल्सहरू यहाँ पनि अरू आफ्नै साथीभाइ आफ्नै त्यही उमेरको साथीभाइहरूले रमाइलोसित जिन्दगी बिताइरहेको देख्दाखेरि पनि I think that will help the kind of next step.
Of course. No, I think that's such a good point. In a way, I think it's come full circle as well, right? In terms of people migrating when they were young, they can at some point, whether in their midlife or retire, like coming back and all of that. And you're right. I think showcasing all of that, right? Whether it's people living abroad, making people coming back, all of it, I think, is important, right? I think it sort of gives people one hope and two that positive example that it is a choice to do that as well.
I also want to say that I like right now I'm in my kind of phase of basing myself in Nepal, and I want to give this chapter of my life all my 100%. And also this comes from a point of I guess I have the privilege to be back and forth two countries, Nepalma aउने or जाने किनभने वो युकेमा I was working in different jobs अनि काम हुँदाखेरि पनि मलाई के हुन्थ्यो भने एक दिन नेपालमा गएर I really want to kind of give my 110% to Trace Nepal and all the other causes and things that I can be part of भन्ने हुन्थ्यो र it was also kind of I got to that point that actually I can do it because I can give this a go, and if it doesn't work out, then that's fine. Then I'll find plan B, or I don't know, move back to the UK. I know, even though that sounds so नराम्रो, तर हामी कतिजना मान्छेहरूको चाहिँ त्यो एउटा privilege छ नि त हैन अनि त्यो privilege हुँदा हुँदै if we don't have other kind of ties or things restricting us, I would say, you know what, just do it. Your दिमागमा छ भने you need to actually just give it your all. And Nepalमा आएर पनि I've met a lot of UK-बाट फर्केर यहाँ businesses-हरु चलाउनु भएको या educational consultancies-हरु या skills program-हरु चलाइराख्नु भएको नेपालीहरु from Gorkha communities and from non-Gorkha communities as well. Some international students who went to UK and they did a great job, and now they have the flexibility to be in. Exactly, and I think it's great. Because हामी जस्तो मान्छेहरु हैन जोसँग त्यो ability to move छ नि and that's such a big privilege because कति मान्छेको त्यो हुँदैन अनि त्यो गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ why not कोसिस गर्ने हो अनि भयो भने भयो भएन भने that's fine, you know that you've given it your big shot. And so to these people I'm sure it's not easy, and I know that it's always easier if you have a safety net in Nepal, be honest. But why not?
Why not? It is so right, and I think immigration is a tough thing, right? And unless you have that privilege of paperwork and so on, it's a scary, tricky thing. That I love what you're saying in terms of if you have, if you're on the other side of the table where you're safe and you have the relevant papers, why not take that risk, right? And it doesn't have to be forever ko lagi jani haina ki. You could start off by doing an internship, spending the summer, going to Tracing Nepalko program, something like that, right? Where you experience it, you at least give yourself that chance to, understand this better, and then make decisions, right? And you either way, you have nothing to lose. What you'll get out of it is an amazing experience, at the end, right?